Gambling is one of the biggest things that rob you of your money. And this is what makes it a possible good field that causes addiction, loss of money, and complete destruction of your life. But a team of MIT students and a unit of the most powerful universities in the world managed to make a lot of money using a genius method. They will change from a landing game to a discounted result for their health. They will occupy gambling halls and win millions in a legal way. So what is the method of genius they used and how they were able to occupy the casino for years without revealing? Follow a story and enjoy. Hello, this is Fod. Before I get into the story, I'd like to say happy holidays to everyone, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The events of our story begin in 1992, specifically at one of the world's top universities, MIT in the United States. This university has historically been one of the top 5 in the world and in many years has even been ranked number 1. Naturally, the students who study there are the elite of the elite, as this university only accepts top achievers. From this university, a team of students would emerge to challenge the casinos on their own turf. The founder of this team was, in fact, not a student, but a professor at the university. Interestingly, the professor's full name or real image has never been fully revealed. However, they referred to him as Mr. M. Mr. M was a computer science professor at MIT, meaning he was a genius in technology and mathematics. He would be the leader, mastermind, and founder of this operation. Mr. M had a passion for one particular casino game called blackjack. It's one of the most popular casino games, and at first glance, it might seem like just a game of chance. However, if you're skilled in mathematics, you'll quickly realize that you can play this game in a way that tips the odds in your favor by using a technique called card counting. You may have seen this before in movies or TV shows. A group of players sitting around a table with a dealer in the center distributing cards. This is the game of blackjack. What makes this game unique is that as more cards are dealt over rounds, you have a chance to count the remaining cards in the deck. By counting the remaining cards, you can shift the odds in your favor with some mathematical calculations. Don't worry, I'll explain this game more thoroughly in the video, so you'll get a clear picture. By the way, card counting was not considered illegal, and no one could accuse you of cheating if you did it. After all, it's just mental math. However, casinos have monitors and security personnel who watch the games and players. If they notice someone using the card counting technique, they will immediately eject them from the casino. You might wonder how they could even notice this since it's just mental calculations in someone's head. The answer will come later when we dive into a detailed explanation of the game. But for now, let's get back to Mr. M. Mr. M wasn't the one who invented the card counting technique in blackjack. There were people before him who used this method, and there was even a mathematician who wrote an entire book about it. But Mr. M was going to put his own spin on this technique and execute it in a way better than anyone before him, because this time he was doing it with a team composed entirely of math prodigies. Mr. M had a passion for blackjack and card counting. He spent years studying and experimenting with this method until he mastered it completely. Once he felt he had perfected every aspect, he decided it was time to start building his dream team in 1992. In that year, gambling in America was at its peak, with new casinos opening everywhere. Naturally, the center of this corruption was Las Vegas, the gambling capital. Mr. M felt that this was the perfect time to start forming his team. He planned to personally oversee and train the team members, turning them into a well-rounded group. What excited him even more was that a new casino had opened close to their university, which they could use as a training ground before heading to the larger casinos in Las Vegas. But before all this, he needed people to help him establish the team. They would require management and capital, because they wouldn't be able to gamble and make money if they didn't have funds to begin with. They estimated they would need at least $500,000 to generate any worthwhile profits, so they had to find investors. Mr. M was sitting with 2 close friends discussing the matter, and their idea was to create a legitimate company, one with management, accounting, and tax payments. They wanted to establish an entity that could operate legally because, as we mentioned, what they were doing was not illegal. If they formed a company, each member would be assured of their rights, including the players. This way, it would also be easier to attract investors, as it would be an organized entity with a management structure. They actually established this company, registered it officially, and named it Strategic Investment. That was the name of their company, and the founding partners were officially registered as part of this company in the documents. The official founders were Mr. M and his friends, Bill and John, who formed the management team. The presence of these founders, who had a reputation in the academic world and connections, quickly attracted investments. They were able to easily raise a capital of $500,000 in a short period of time. Before we dive into the details of assembling the team members, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and give the video a like. The assembly of the team that deceived the casinos from MIT was accomplished through a series of carefully planned steps. It all started with a network of students studying mathematics and engineering, brought together by their shared interest in gambling and mathematical challenges. Some reached out to friends and classmates, exchanging ideas on counting techniques and various strategies in casino games. After identifying the right individuals, they decided to organize themselves as a team, with clearly defined roles, such as the main player who places the bets and the spotter who observes the game's flow to identify favorable opportunities. Through continuous training and precise coordination, they were able to enhance their skills and improve their chances of success, making them a strong and effective team in the casinos. What set these students apart was not only their academic intelligence, but also their ability to engage in strategic planning and teamwork. They didn't rely on luck or blind risk. Instead, they built a meticulous system and an integrated support network, which enabled them to outwit even the most guarded and strict casinos. After forming their team and training intensively on the card counting strategy, the students began heading to casinos in small groups, using carefully distributed roles. They had a spotter who would start playing and count cards without raising his bets, maintaining a low profile to avoid attracting attention. When the count indicated favorable odds, he would give a secret signal to his teammate, the big bettor, who would enter the game at the ideal moment and place large bets, leveraging the team's knowledge of when the cards were in their favor. Each team member played their role without arousing suspicion, dressing smartly and acting like wealthy business people or tourists. Casinos kept an eye on players who won consistently, but these students would constantly change their identities and move between different casinos to avoid detection. Over the years, the team managed to exploit blackjack's weaknesses and accumulated millions of dollars. However, as time went on, casinos began to notice patterns, and the team faced increasing difficulties. Many members were banned from major casinos, and the technique they used became well known among industry staff. Despite this, they continued for quite some time, leaving an unforgettable mark in casino history and showing how mathematical knowledge and clever planning can completely change the rules of the game. Over time, the MIT team expanded to include more students, becoming more organized and professional. They managed their operations like a covert company, with systematically assigned tasks and roles
an amazing
to ensure
place
success
just to walk
and
around with.
minimize
Now,
risks.
I was quite
Their
lucky to be able
activities
to
were
film
not
here.
limited to the United States. They
I
began traveling to
was expecting
casinos
any
around
second
the
now someone
world,
to come up to me
including
and
places like
ask me to turn off my
Monaco,
camera.
Atlantic
The
City,
reason why
and even
they
Australia.
probably didn't is because
Each operation
the
was
GoPro was
meticulously
actually,
calculated.
pinned to my
Before
backpack.
entering any casino, they would
And,
study
they
its
didn't realise
system,
it was on
monitor
that thing.
surveillance movements and
So
security
I
cameras,
managed to get
and
this
determine the
very
optimal
short
times to
clip.
play.
You
The
can see
team
most
managed their
people here not
finances with
carrying any,
great precision,
backpacks. I think
investing a
the
portion of their
organiser
profits
was
in
going to
training
my
new
room.
members, purchasing plane tickets,
But,
and
yeah, they
booking
don't let you
hotels.
film if
They used
do
pooled
see you
funds
film,
for their
they'll actually come
bets
up to
and
you
distributed
they'll
profits
throw
fairly
you
among
out and
players
they'll
and
make sure you
backers.
delete your,
At times, they faced
the film that
ejections
you've
or
done.
questioning
So,
from
yeah, I
casino
was surprised
security,
that I was
but
able
they
to
excelled
film
at
here.
disguises
The
and
few
using
security
both
guards
legal
did actually,
and creative
look at
methods
me
to avoid suspicion.
while I was there.
Though the
But,
MIT team
I have
managed
made
to
a
make
full
substantial profits over the years, their fame began to leak out gradually. Stories about them started appearing in newspapers and books, like Bringing Down the House, increasing the pressure on them as casinos took stricter measures. Their names were added to blacklists shared among casinos, and new technologies were developed to combat card counting techniques, such as automatic shuffling machines and reducing the number of decks used in the game. In the end, despite their great success, the MIT team realized that everything has its limits. Some members left to pursue traditional careers, while others decided to remain in the gambling world in different ways. Their story became an inspiration to many, showing how intelligence and knowledge can overcome giants like casinos, and a reminder that luck is not always the key to winning. Sometimes, strategic planning is the true secret. The MIT Blackjack team's journey came to an end after years of astonishing success in casinos worldwide. Over time, the team's fame began to spread, especially as newspapers and articles started reporting on their operations. This increased the casino's awareness of them, and security systems evolved specifically to monitor and analyze the behavior of players suspected of using card-counting techniques. With growing challenges like repeated bans from casinos and intense scrutiny on players, it became harder for team members to continue their strategy without attracting attention. Casinos began implementing new measures, such as reducing the number of decks in play and using automatic shuffling machines, which made card counting less effective. The team was placed on shared blacklists among casinos, making entering any casino riskier. Eventually, the team disbanded, as many members decided to step away from gambling and pursue other careers. Some went into business or engineering, while others used their blackjack experience to give lectures or write books about their journey. Team leader Bill Kaplan continued in the business world and became a successful investor. Though the team ultimately disbanded, the legacy of the MIT Blackjack team endured. Their story was immortalized in the best-selling book Bringing Down the House, published in 2002, which later inspired the popular 2008 movie 21. The tale continues to be told as an exciting example of using knowledge and mathematics to challenge massive systems like casinos. Even though the team didn't last forever, their impact remains etched in the history of the gambling industry. And that is the end of the greatest team to beat the blackjack odds. A beautiful conclusion. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for new stories. Goodbye, guys.